I like the way you work it. No digging.
Hi and welcome to BasinZ.com Gear Guide. I'm Jason. Today we're here to talk about ski boot fitting, what to look for, what not to look for, over the phone and also through the shop as well. We're going to run through some basic things on your expectations, what to look for and the whole big picture on making sure you've got the best boot for what you need to do. The initial thing that we need to look for is you go into somewhere that has professional boot fitters that know what they're talking about. That way they can give you the best advice and make sure that you're in the most suitable boot for you. Allowing time and plenty of time is a crucial part as well. 45 minutes to an hour is a minimum time that you should make sure that you look for when buying a boot. Sometimes for more awkward or unusual feet, we take a little bit longer. It can take an hour and a half. Sometimes it can take longer and longer as well. Remember, ski boots don't fit like shoes. You don't purchase them like shoes and a 5-minute process does not work. Ski boots are great to ski in, useless to walk in. Shoes, awesome to walk in, useless to ski in. So please keep something like that in mind. As you can see, we have a massive range of boots here. The whole range of boots, why do we have so many? Every maker boot has a different geometry, a different shell. Everyone's feet are different. Your left and your right foot is different as well. So what we need to do is initially start by looking at the shape of your foot. First thing we'll do is we're going to get a foot measure. The foot measure we do in a sizing called Mondo point. Basically it just means it's the centimetre of the length of your foot. That's it. Clear and simple. The next thing we're going to do is take an assessment of your foot. Seeing what your feet are doing with weight on, without weight, seeing how you're flexing, just the whole biomechanics of your foot and the assessment from there as well. The majority of people's feet, they collapse inwards, they pronate. Some move the other way, they supinate, and some people, probably 5%, have a very strong, sturdy foot. So it's something that the majority of people do need some sort of support underneath. Absolutely crucial all the way through. So, the next stage. Now what we want to do is do a shell check. We're going to get the customer to put the foot inside the boot, just like so. Just going to get you to put your toes so it's just touching the front very, very lightly. And then what we're going to do is flex the foot forward. In this position, the idea of the boot shell check is to look on 2 fingers around about this much behind the heel and the back of the boot. That way, that will accommodate for the liner and also any stretching inside as well. You can see that looks absolutely great, so we're going to take the foot out and then we know that this is the right size boot that we're going to start with. We've measured the foot. We've looked at the foot, we've seen what the foot's doing, we've checked all those bones, the widths, the instep, the heel, the ankle, Achilles. What's next? Next stage is, before we even start to get a boot on someone's foot, is what we're going to look at is a sock and talk to people about the benefits of a technical ski sock. A technical ski sock is worth its weight in gold. What's the difference? Well, the initial thing is you sweat about half a cup of sweat in each foot each day on average. Some more, some a little bit less. What do we want to do? We want to wick that moisture away from the foot where it's easy to dry out. Technical socks would do this with you. The other feature that we have on technical socks is they tend to be padded in areas where a lot of people get pressure points. Shin, toe, heel areas. That is something that's important. Socks like this, okay, stay away from. These are great to wear to bed. They're great in the occasional little shoe or even around the house. Otherwise, we don't want to see people in that type of thing at all. That's it on socks. The next thing we're going to talk about very briefly are these things. Footbeds, insoles, orthotics, call them what you like. Every boot that you see here comes with a sole like this that's based around the average person's foot. Average person, when we're talking about boots, doesn't exist. So what we like to do is throw that away and start from scratch. This is what we have here, a custom footbed. A footbed that's moulded directly around your foot. Why? What does it do? Well, the initial thing that we're doing is if we have something that's moulded directly around your foot, we have more comfort, we have more control, we have less fatigue in the foot. Also the whole circulation is better as well, so people can have warmer feet. The other thing it's doing is taking pressure off the knees, the hips and the back. It's keeping your posture a lot straighter. At the end of the day, it means that the transfer that you're moving from your little toe to the boot is quick and direct. Footbeds are crucial. Another thing that we consider and we take into account are people's ages, medical conditions, diabetes, circulation in general. We can make sure that people don't need to suffer from cold feet. Thermic systems around, boot fitting, boot heating, warming systems. Make sure at the end of the day your boots are super dry when you start skiing in the morning. That way you'll have warm feet all day long. The next side we're just going to touch on is mouldable liners. Now mouldable liners years and years ago just used to be a couple here and there. Today in every single boot that we have on the shelf, everything is heat mouldable. What we do is we either use an oven or we use 2 big hair dryers. The liner expands, we then put someone's foot inside, and as it cools down it takes a shape and definition. That way things like ankle pockets, the heel, the instep, the width, all of that can be shaped around the foot, giving a much closer, more control of the foot. More precision, more control, at the end of the day, a lot more fun as well. So, women's boots, what's different to women? Well, I think we all know the basics from there. But when it comes down to boots, women have completely different shapes. Their calves tend to be longer, also their Achilles tend to be a little bit shorter, and so the flexing point that they have through there as well tends to be a little bit shorter. Hence that's why a lot of the time, the majority of ladies' boots have some sort of ramp system, as well as a much bigger area to accommodate the calf. Otherwise, everything that has been mentioned previously with guys' boots runs exactly the same thing with the women's as well. There's no difference whatsoever. Remember, depending on your shape of foot, if there's any irregularities, a lot of the time we do need to do extra customization through the boot. Stretching, cutting, grinding, these are things that we may even do before you ski in the boot, before you walk out the shop. The other point, something very, very crucial is questions. What we want to know. We want to know where you ski, what you enjoy skiing, what your weight is, what your ability is. Also, even from the point of view where if you're skiing soft powder out of a heli compared to skiing the parkside, to skiing race gates, all of those are different features and different functions that will also determine what type of boot we put you into, whether it be the model, whether it be the flex, or also at the same time the shape of your foot. Questions are crucial. I think that's it. At the end of the day, do remember, allow yourself lots of time when you come into a shop. It's not going to take 5 minutes. Give yourself time. The boots are the most important part of your kit. Remember, it's the chassis behind the car. It's the driving force. So that's our overview, the boot, the gear guide. Check us out online, check us out in the store, basenz.com. Good stuff online all the time. This is Jace, signing out, basenz.com.
I like the way you work it. No digging.